I think we all love those nice quick supper options. So what I'm going to do for you now is a really great option to do with some noodles, okay? We're going to do some noodles, some chicken and some vegetables, all kind of bound together as a one-pot wonder. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I've just got a pot here of some rapidly boiling water, and I'm just going to plunge in my noodles. Now what I've used is I've used kind of the fine egg noodles there. I'm just going to pop those in. I would normally say about 1 or 1.5 nests of the noodles per person would be sufficient. We're just going to keep those there in the rapidly boiling water, and they'll be cooked when we're ready for them. Other than that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a nice stir fry. So what I've got here is I've just got some different vegetables. Use whatever it is that you'd like. Peppers, mange too, sugar snap peas can all be used. What I've got is I've got some mixed peppers, some sliced red onion, and I've got some chopped garlic there as well. And what I'm going to use for this recipe is I'm going to use some of the Green Farm torn chicken breast, okay, with the Cajun flavouring as well. So you can just see, if you just look at that there straight away, you can see the lovely kind of colour that it has with those nice Cajun spices. So again, these noodles will just have a kind of a nice spiced undertone, which will work quite nicely for you. So we just leave those there for just a second. What I'm going to do then is I'm just going to heat my pan, and I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it. Now the greatest tip that I can give you when doing a stir fry is to never compromise on the heat. Sometimes people compromise on the heat and they end up with kind of more of a stewed vegetable dish, whereas what we're looking for is we're just looking for a nice element of crispness to that. So I'm going to just pop in all of my vegetables there. I've got my peppers, I've got some red onions, and I've got a little bit of garlic. Okay, so we're just going to pop all of those in there and just give those a little stir around there for just a second, all right? So just keep the heat good and high at all times. We can just have a little look in on our noodles here, and you can just see that the noodles tend to break down quite quickly, and those are getting nicely refreshed there in that rapidly boiling water. Just keep those coming along nicely. Now with our vegetables here, what you're looking for is you're looking to get a sense of colour into those, and just for them to soften a little bit, but without having them overly soft. Now if you find that you look into the pan at some stage and you feel that you might need a little bit more oil, don't add any more oil into it. What I would suggest you to do is just to take maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons of just cold water and just kind of pop that on. Let's just pop on the extractor here for a second. You'll be in this big cloud of smoke at home as well. So just pop that on there, and a little bit of water. What the water does for you is it just allows you a little vacuum of time in which to cook your vegetables without actually blackening them or browning them up too much for you. Okay, so our vegetables are coming along really nicely there. Okay, so you can just see those there. The next thing I'm going to add into that there in just a second is I'm going to add in some of my Cajun chicken, and I'm going to allow that to warm up thoroughly in there. So pop in the full packet there of that Cajun chicken. Now the beauty of this, because this is such a nice healthy option with all of the vegetables and the noodles, the chicken that we're using there is 100% natural, and it's a low in fat option as well. So again, for all those kind of lean days ahead, you can kind of just do a nice kind of a healthy option for yourself. So just pop all of that in. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my noodles in just a second. And also what I've got there is I've just got some liquids, okay, in terms of a sauce content. So what I've got is I've got some honey and I've got some soy sauce. And I'm just going to mix the two of those together as a really nice kind of a sauce option to add in at the last minute. Now I won't add that too soon, because with our honey in there, what it will have a tendency to do is to caramelize the dish, okay, and it would have a tendency to burn a little bit. So just kind of don't do that for an overly long period of time. Now, my noodles are ready to rock. So let's just strain our noodles. And what I kind of find is a good option to do is just to pop your noodles in with a little bit of the cooking liquor as well. And that kind of just helps you when it goes into the sauce. So just kind of pop all of that in as best you can. Okay, and toss all of that around in there as well. Use whole wheat noodles if you'd prefer. Now, so we just pop off the heat underneath that. And just give those a good stir around. Now once your noodles are kind of coated there with that kind of nice Cajun flavour of that chicken, what we're going to do is we're going to just add in some of our sauce, okay? So we've got the sauce there of the honey and the soy sauce. I'm going to pop that in. And once you pop that in, you need to kind of work fairly quickly there, because everything is going to caramelise up quite quickly for you. So just toss that around, coat it around nicely, and just allow it to bubble up a little bit. And then I'm going to just turn off the heat underneath that and just let it sit for just a minute. Okay, so we just leave that there for just a second. Whilst that's sitting there for just a second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just prepare a little bit of chopped coriander. So I've got some fresh coriander here, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that. I use the stalks as well. I've never a problem using the stalks. And coriander is just such a nice fresh herb that it just works really, really well to add a little bit of kind of freshness and a little bit of that citrus element to your chicken at the end of the cooking. And it just works really nice with the kind of the Cajun element. Now, sometimes serving up this dish can be a little bit difficult because the first person gets all the noodles and the second person is left with all of the bits and pieces. So what I tend to do is I actually tend to purposely try and sidestep that by just fishing out your noodles there first of all and popping those into your bowl, and then just taking some of our really nice toppings there in terms of that lovely Cajun chicken with some of our vegetables and that lovely nice sauce going on top of that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle that with a little bit of our fresh coriander, and there you've got a perfect tasty midweek option with your Cajun chicken.